Hey guys, welcome to the second QuickBooks Online tutorial. My name's Samuel Burmeister. I'm the owner at Tall Books. Today I'm going to take you through the chart of accounts or the accounts list in QuickBooks Online. So first thing you need to know is how to get there. There are two easy ways to do that. So the first, on the left-hand side, if you click the Accounting tab, you've then got Chart of Accounts here. It'll automatically load up. Another option that you might like to choose under the Settings cog in the top right-hand corner, and then under Settings you'll find Chart of Accounts. Perfect. So we're on the page here now. I'll run you through some basics. If you already know this, feel free to skip ahead a bit. So an accounts list or chart of accounts is where we categorize transactions that occur in the business. So without a chart of accounts, we would simply have a running balance and it wouldn't be very useful for planning or reporting. So chart of accounts allows us to break things down on a really granular level, and you can break it out in as much detail as you'd like or keep it quite simple. So let's run through some main account types that you have in a chart of accounts, and also I'll cover the way that QuickBooks name the accounts as well. So starting off with assets. Now assets are something that you own. Common assets will be things like bank accounts, inventory. You've got any prepaid expenses. Often things that you'll depreciate come end of period as well. So computer equipment, office equipment, cars, etc. They're all assets. In QuickBooks, you have cash and cash equivalents is the name that they give to bank accounts. Then we've got our typical accounts receivable. You've got current assets, which is generally liquid assets that you expect basically to use within the year. And then fixed assets or non-current assets, which are probably going to be around for longer than 12 months. So think of things like long-term products, investments, property, equipment that you might depreciate. Those are things to come into play there. Next, we have liabilities. So with liabilities, you've got your typical accounts like accounts payable, so money that you owe to creditors. You've also got all of your payroll-related liabilities. So you've got super, PAYG, you've got any BAS-related expenses as well. So this is where the system will automatically accumulate any GST paid minus from any GST collected on sales. And that will be the balance in the BAS liabilities payable account. Moving on from liabilities, we have equity. So the owner's stake in the business. So the common equation is my assets, so what I own, minus my liabilities, which is what I owe, leaves me with my equity. The equity accounts can be customized based on the business structure, whether it be sole trader or company, partnership, etc. This one here has got owner's drawings, so it's most likely set up as a sole trader, though it does have a bit of a mix here. When you set up your QuickBooks file, you will get to choose some options. That'll help determine what the chart of accounts displays. You'll still want to go in and customize it further. You may need a director's loan account or partnership drawings account for both of the partners in the business. Okay, moving on from equity, we've got income or revenue. Pretty straightforward. It's money coming into the business. And you can break this down. This example here, they've got it as a general revenue, retail, wholesale, and sales of product. So quite a lot of detail there. If you've got more than one revenue stream, feel free to break it down. Then we're going into our expenses. So there's two main categories of expenses that are covered. Cost of sales. This is something you incur in order to make the sale. For example, if I sell boxes of chocolate, I need to buy the boxes, therefore packaging would be a cost of sale. If I am running a production company and I can't make money off a shoot without a contractor holding something for me or filming something, that would be a cost of sale. General expenses are your overheads, so things like bank charges, rent, telephone bills, etc. And they're your main types of accounts in QuickBooks. So how do you create one? Very simple. You can either do it while you're in the transaction, or you can come to the chart of accounts area and hit new. Once you hit new, you simply choose the type of account you'd like. So let's add an expense. They have a detailed type here. So this is just really a guideline, some common types of expenses. And if you select one, it will then populate the name. You can ignore that. I generally don't worry about the detailed type. Just make sure the category is correct and name it whatever you'd like. So we'll call this one bookkeeping fees because you always want a good bookkeeper. There's a little plug for you. And then I can select whether it's sub account, which means it might fall under a header account. Maybe I've got accounting fees and the bookkeeping fees get grouped with that. I can select it to be billable. So maybe I can uncharge these expenses. And then lastly, choose your default code. So this is important. If my bookkeeper's charging me with GST included in the price, I'd want this as GST or non-capital. Otherwise, maybe they're not registered for GST, so I'd go GST free non-capital. Once that's set up, you can save and close, and that account will be added to your list for you. Up the top left here, you'll find a handy search bar. So if I now type in book, I can find the bookkeeping fees here, and it's very quick and easy to use. Besides that, you might also like to know you can edit accounts. So if I want to change the name or the type of an account, the drop-down arrow on the right-hand side of the account allows me to edit that. And lastly, a really handy thing you can run is a report per transaction. So some systems call this a general ledger detail report. Simply select the account that you're after, drop down the arrow and run report. This will populate a report of all transactions going in and out of that account over a specific time period. And hopefully we can see that generated here. And you can toggle the report to have different options. So for example, all dates. So we get the complete history of this account. And I can see every time an inventory transaction has passed in or out of this account quite easily. So remember that one's on the right-hand side, then run report. So that was the chart of accounts run through, just a good overview of the QuickBooks chart of accounts. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to reach out, leave a comment below or send me an email. Thanks, guys.